Hi everyone, it's me, Darlene. Do you remember the quilt block party where I made 20 cohesive blocks over a period of several months? I don't even know how long I worked on that. They all looked similar to this. I am going to bring these blocks back to life and continue the series by embellishing these blocks. I will take each block and try to figure out what I can do to it. I can add buttons or bows or lace or ribbon. I can do some decorative stitching with my sewing machine, or I can also take fabric that I used and do some applique if I would want to, or at least fix some of the blocks that need fixing by maybe putting different fabric on them. I have one in mind for that. I have no idea how many blocks I will do in each video because I don't know how long they will take me. Some of the blocks will be really quick and some will probably take longer. But I'm just going to go with the series and keep it going until I get all the blocks embellished. After that, I don't know if I'll be putting the blocks together. Something tells me I might be. I did want to mention that you might remember that I had put up some online polls for groups of 5 of the blocks. Like when I had 5 done, I would put a poll and say which of these 5 is your favorite. So let's go over the first 5. First of all those polls are still open. I will link down below if you want to still go vote. If you already voted, you can't vote again. Let me just go through these and tell you what came in first place out of the first 5. First, let me show you the first 5. This was number 1. It was called Wonky Stripes. This was number 2, the one that everyone thought looked like clothing hanging on the line. And it does, not clothing, but sheets. So this was number 2. It was called Simple Curves. This was number 3, Corner Bloom. There's a little bloom in the corner. This was number 4, still my most hated. Can't wait to get rid of the satin on the edge of this and that horrific button. This one was called Button from Hell. I hated that block. And this was number 5. This is among one of my favorites. I called this one Dizzy Diagonals. So now let me tell you which ones you guys liked the best. We had 325 votes in all up to this point, and in last place with only 11 votes is Button from Hell. No surprise there. Next is, next to last, see, I kind of like this one, is Wonky Stripes. This one got 31 votes. The next one is Simple Curves, got 52 votes. This guy. The runner-up is Dizzy Diagonals, got 84 votes. And the number 1, 147 votes for Corner Bloom. So those are the 5 that I'll be working on right now. I don't know how many I will get done in this video, but we'll do those 5, and then after those 5 are all embellished, I'll do another update like this, and we'll look at the poll, and we'll talk about the next 5. So let's just go over to the sewing table and get started. Here are just some of the supplies that I dug up. I have tons more ribbon other than what's in here, but I just happened to see this, so I pulled this over here. I have a bag filled with other kinds of ribbon and lace. Tons more down cellar. I mean, whole totes full. I have all my lovely Peanut Gallery mail buttons. I have even more than this. Some are in special jars, and I'm keeping those buttons for myself. I have some embroidery thread here, but I also have a lot of spools of thread that I can't use in the sewing machine, so I can use that for decorative hand stitching. I might do some hand stitching too. What else do I have? And here's the basket of fabric that I was picking from to do those blocks. It's a terrible time of day for the lighting. I have daylight and also fluorescent lights on. This is the block I wanted to start with, and this was the first lace that I noticed that I think will just look awesome on here because it's got some of the pink satin stripes. So I'm going to be machine stitching that on, and I might sew a couple buttons, and I will just let you watch what I do as I do it. I used my clear nylon thread, and you can't even see the stitches at all. So pretty. I used to watch a woman who sews, and she uses white glue to baste down everything. So I'm going to do that to the buttons. Just a little bit. I'm going to put them there, let them dry. Then I'm just going to hand stitch with maybe some thick embroidery thread or something. Was stressful. I was so excited to sit down and do this. I was like, oh, I can do some hand stitching and this is going to be fun. But it was a little bit harder than I thought. Now you might be wondering why I came up with these combinations. It's because I like crazy quilt blocks to look crazy. So first I did that lace that I showed you, and where is it? Right here. The pink with white. Then I chose these two red buttons. There's not even red on this. There's like dark pink, but I liked them there. And then I went with red ribbon. And this ribbon didn't quite make it to where I wanted it to go. As I was sewing, it was making it gather up. I don't care. And then I also put a red stripe of ribbon on this corner down here. So this is what we have. And I like it very much. But I'm going to stop here for this video because I felt like I was getting sloppy. I was sewing buttons on with a upholstering needle because that's all I could find that I could fit the thread through, and I didn't feel like splitting up the embroidery thread. So I'm just gonna stop here, and we have this one embellished crazy quilt block, and I am not going to try to make these matchy-matchy. Some other blocks might have gold buttons, heart buttons, whatever. Each little block is just going to be embellished whatever way I feel like embellishing it. And I would like to do some hand embellishing also. Hand stitching, like you can make, you know, crosses or X's over the lines, and it can get addictive. It really can, embellishing blocks. Like I would have maybe liked to do some hand stitching here on this block and stuff, but I have a lot of blocks to go through, so I don't want to tucker myself out too early on in the process. So thank you so much for watching. I will be back soon to embellish another block out of that first group of 5. Bye!